What's up, bro cars? What's up, Pogarts? No disrespect to women or Winston or anyone. This is being filmed on my everyday camera, the Sony a7S III. And this is being filmed on a Sony Venice cinema camera. You might also notice that this lens is very, very wide, and that's because it's an anamorphic lens. And the reason I have this cinema camera is because I'm working on a movie with it. I just had some downtime with it, so why not film a YouTube video and talk about my camera gear? Something that a lot of people ask me about. So I'm not going to go really in depth with every single camera that I have because I'm not a tech channel. I just want to let you guys know what I'm filming with just so you can try to replicate it if you want or whatever. But if you've watched any of my content in the past 2 years, it was probably filmed on the Sony a7 III. I see this camera as the almost perfect camera because it has great image quality, perfect in low light, beautiful and bright light, and just good to use overall. The only downside though is there's no flip out screen. It just flips up and down, that's it. It's fine, but if you don't have someone behind the camera recording you, it's kind of impossible to record yourself and see what you're recording. Say I want to set up a quick shot in my room and just see what I'm looking at. A 5-minute camera setup turns into a 15-minute camera setup because I have to put on a monitor, connect to my mobile app, and try to figure all that out. When my content kind of shifted from having someone behind the camera to just me holding the camera, I really couldn't use this thing, so I was doing research and trying to figure out what I can use. And I came across this, the Canon M50. This is a smaller camera with a smaller sensor, which means it doesn't capture light as well as this one does. The image quality also isn't as nice. It doesn't really film in 4K without having a huge crop. But the good thing about this camera is it has a flip out screen. Despite it having a smaller sensor, I actually found a workaround, this thing called a speed booster. You basically just put it on over the small sensor and it magnifies it, making it seem like a bigger sensor. Then it can work with full frame Canon lenses, giving you an image that isn't the same as a full frame camera, but is pretty similar. I think all of my footage in late 2019 was filmed on this camera. A couple months ago, Sony released the a7S III, which basically just removes all the problems from this thing. This camera actually has a flip out screen now. Same if not better image quality than the a7 III, a little bit better color science, and overall just a better design with more buttons and bigger grip, just nicer to use overall. You might be wondering why mine is white, and that's because I wrapped it just to have a protective film over it, and also because it looks really cool in white. So for those of you asking about camera equipment, if you don't have a high budget, I really recommend the Canon M50. It's not going to be perfect in low light, it's not going to be perfect all around, but it gets the job done. It looks fine, it looks more than passable. And if you have any higher of a budget, I'd say go straight to the Sony a7S III because this camera is actually the perfect camera. I have no problems with it. I could probably film anything I want to with this thing. It's just perfect. I love this camera. As a little post note, I'd love to use this camera to film a lot more stuff with the time I have with it right now. However, it's huge, and so are the video files. The 15-minute video I just filmed right now is about 200 gigabytes, so I'm just gonna cool it right there. Thank you for watching.